Welcome back, my work at homers. This is Shortcut Sherry, and I've been inspired to do a series of videos that help you work from home more effectively now that we're all working in remote mode. Welcome to my world. For some of you, this may be new. For some of you, you've been thrown to the wolves in the last couple of weeks, and you really just need to be productive. That's what this series is intended to be for you. I've been working from home for a long time, and I work as a contractor. So I have several clients that we work remotely, and sometimes you feel a little bit disconnected. Using Microsoft Teams, we have a couple of options to help you feel more connected, and in some cases feel like you're in the same room as them. In this video, we're going to concentrate on the chat and the calls features in Microsoft Teams. Let's get started with chat. Up here on the left-hand side in the navigation, we have the chat option. In the chat pane, we have two options here. We have recent and we have contacts. In recent, you will see some of the conversations that you've had recently. In contacts, you can manage the contacts that you chat with. For most organizations, these are probably just your internal people, but for some organizations, your chats might consist of people that you work externally. It all depends on how your company has it configured. If you have a specific person that you work with all the time, you might want to mark them as a favorite. Under the drop-down, you select Add a Contact to this group, and let's say Amy and I work together all the time. I'm going to add her to my favorites. Your address book could have thousands of people, so marking them as a favorite helps you to access them and communicate with them more quickly. You also have the option now to create a contact group, and that is at the bottom of the pane. Create a new contact group, give it a name, and then click Create. Now that you have a new group, you can add members to that group. I can have Amy in one or more groups if that makes sense for me. I'm also going to add Jeff. Now to create a new chat, you might select your team. It looks like Amy is offline, but Jeff is available. So let's start a chat with Jeff. First, I'm going to say hello. And now I'm going to introduce some etiquette to you. Just because you need his attention does not necessarily mean he might be available right this moment. It's always a good idea to have a greeting and then ask for permission to chat with them. I'm logged into the web browser as Jeff, just so you can see the interaction. This is not something you would typically do. What we missed was that Jeff had a little notification there saying, "Hi, Karen wants to chat with you." He had a pop-up window because he had notifications turned on. Let's say he was away from his desk and he came back. He would see a little notification here with a number letting him know that somebody was trying to chat with him, and new conversations are marked in bold. So Karen's trying to get a hold of me. Notice the pop-up window that appeared. Red receipts are here. This is a new feature that has just been introduced to Microsoft Teams. Those are red receipts, just like the red receipts that we use in Outlook. If I'd like to know more about it, I might go look at the settings. For now, let's just say got it. Remember, those pop-up boxes are important. Jeff can respond to Karen. Lots of options here. I can just type in text. We also have other options here. We can format the text. We can add some delivery options. If this is an important message or an urgent message, I could mark it as such. If I'd like to attach a file, I can send an attachment. Put in an emoji. We love our emojis, don't we? Add a GIF. Add our stickers and memes and those kind of fun things. Ooh, what's this? This is something different. We didn't see this when we were creating conversations in our channels, right? Schedule a meeting. That might come in handy. Let's tuck that away for future. If I want to include a link to a stream video, I could do so here, or add a praise. Always click the ... because some other things might be available there. If Jeff is available, he could now acknowledge her message and say, yes, let's go ahead and chat. Notice the notifications that are popping up in the lower right-hand corner. Actually, one is Karen's and one is Jeff's, because remember, I have them open in 2 windows. You normally wouldn't see that. So basically, that's Karen's notification letting her know Jeff is available to chat. So she's responding here. Again, we're getting the notifications. Eventually, if you're like me, this gets a little ridiculous. The back and forth and back and forth and back and forth gets a little crazy. There's actually been a study that has been done that instead of going back and forth in email or back and forth in chat, if you just sit down and have a 15-minute meeting, you might be able to knock it out and save everybody some time. So we could schedule a meeting here with everyone. So let's say this is the client proposal review meeting. I have options to add additional people. So currently this is with Karen, because remember I'm in here as Jeff. I can set a date. Let's say we're going to meet Monday. It looks at the next available time. Now, I'm not real happy with this new interface because it doesn't say like start time and end time, but we'll work with it. So let's say it's going to be 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't always agree with some of the things that Microsoft changes. It doesn't mean I don't still love all the tools. If it's an all-day thing, I can add this here. If I need an additional person, let's say I'm going to invite Amy to this as well. And possibly our CEO might want to be involved. So we have an optional here. So these are optional attendees. So if Dan Jump is available, maybe we'll add him too. This is probably one of my favorite things, is adding this into a channel of a team. So if there are 20 people in a team, I don't have to add 20 people at a time. I can just throw it in the marketing team general channel and call it good. And then everybody in that channel, everybody on that team is going to get invited to that meeting. Let's say we're going to be in a conference room and then add some details for the meeting. And I'm going to look at the scheduling assistant to see what people's availability is that date and time. You can drag the edges here to reschedule if you need to. All 4 people look like they're available at this particular time. I'm going to go ahead and click send. And we now have a meeting. If we don't need to have a meeting, but I do need to verbally get an answer because just typing is too tedious, we have the option up here to start a call. Now it wants to use my microphone. So hang on a second. Now this is going to get a little weird from a demo standpoint. I put them side by side on the window so that you can see Karen can see Jeff and Jeff can see Karen. Because I'm using my microphone to record the video, I have muted the video. And I don't have cameras available on this particular computer. Without a camera on, you will see that person's image. If you want to see more information about him, you can hover over it, look at their org chart, you can send them an email, or you can start a separate chat with them if you need to. So I could message her from here. Now, it just all depends. Like I said, this is weird from a demo standpoint. You would never do this, but I want you to see what they see on either side. So Jeff sees her and she sees him. Other options we have, we can share our screen. So I can share our different desktops if we need to. You can start a conversation over here. We can see the attendees usually. Maybe because I've got it too small over here. You can show the attendees maybe because there's only 2. In the meeting you can see the attendees, but there's only 2 of us. So it's like there's not a lot of people to see. All right. I can hold, I can transfer. Here's the participants window I was looking for. So here's my participants. Let's say I wanted to add Amy to this. I can add Amy in as well. Now Amy is being added to the meeting. Now she's getting a notification and she may join. All right, I only have so many hands, people, so I'm only going to show you the 2. And now we can see that Amy has joined as well. You can have your conversations, share your files. The nice thing about here, right here in Teams, while we are working, we could go into Teams. and we can edit those files. So we can talk to each other as we're editing, which is what Leanne and I did when we had to do that proposal for our client. So this is kind of a long video because there's a lot in here. Maybe I should have broken it up into two, the calling and the chat, but I think they go together. When you're done, just hang up with the little red button. Everybody gets out and go on your merry way and get the rest of your work done that day. So quick communication using chat, using calls, and even creating some meetings. In the next video, we're going to go into meetings in a little bit more detail. Thanks for watching. I'm Shortcut Sherry, and it's my job to make your job easier.